Okay. All right. So we're gonna start this off. I'm gonna give you a rundown of the business school and the nitty gritty of it, and why, if you're thinking about starting or scaling a business, it's probably one of the best decisions that you'll make. And then after this, I'll open it up to any questions that didn't get answered. Okay. So the business school, the EntreMD Business School, really is the only school of its kind. It is a school exclusively for physicians. I cannot tell you how many non-physician clinicians try to get in, and I'm like, no, this is a special place, just for us. Okay. And the framework, if you will, is you will get coaching a lot, you will get accountability a lot, and you will get community. I believe that it does take all three of those elements for you to really thrive, and thrive not just for right now, but 5 years from now. Right? Like your business is still in that space. It does take these three to create that immersive experience. So it's not for everybody. But if you are, I know I get a lot of physicians who are like, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. I just know that there's more. And if that's you, then this school is a really good place for you, because you'll get to define what more is and start walking in that and start creating a business around that. If you're ready to launch a business, you've known about it, then this is a school for you. If you're ready to grow your business, so you already have it, but maybe you've been in cruise control and you're ready to take it to the next level, then this is really good for you. Okay. So if you're like, this is what I want to do, I have the work ethic, I just don't have a roadmap, I don't have the motivation, I don't have the accountability, then the business school is perfect for you. Um, and this is something that you see throughout the EntreMD world in general, is that everything you've achieved up until now is just a stepping stone for what comes next. So you may be at a point where you are very successful, but then there's more stuff, right? There are more things you can do. There's more impacts that you can have. Or you may be in a place where, like, I'm just comfy with what I do as an employed physician. And that is not bad. I actually celebrate that, right? That is not bad at all. But maybe there are also these other things you wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to do a podcast. Maybe you wanted to do a YouTube channel or a blog. Maybe you wanted to build out your personal brand, whatever it is. The bottom line is, wherever we are now, we don't settle because there's more. Okay. So we talked a lot about this during EntreMD Live. Being an entrepreneur for physicians is no longer optional. I mean, you look there, you'll see that there's a lot of loss of autonomy, right? We are not calling the shots. Burnout is at an all-time high. Job replacements, that's happening and happening. I mean, I remember in 2017, I had done a post and I was like, hey, what if this is 2025 and, you know, nurse practitioners have independent practice in 45 states, and your specialty is being replaced for the most part. What will you do? Like, knowing that, what would you do now to prepare yourself for that time? And lots of people are like, that will never happen. Doctors will always have job security and all of that. But if you look around, you'll see that, well, that's not the case. Like, things are very different. I don't think we've ever been so devalued, ever. And so not being in control is not an option. And even for the people who do have businesses, if you look at private practices, they are going out of business by the thousands. And we don't have the liberty of just having practices but not knowing the business side, not knowing how to react to crisis and all of that stuff. We just don't have that liberty anymore. So I love this picture because sometimes people say, well, I can't be an entrepreneur because I don't want to have a private practice, or I can't be an entrepreneur because I'm not a coach, or something like that. In medicine, there's a well-defined path. In entrepreneurship, you can be whatever you want. Really. So if you look at these pictures here, to my left is Dr. Stephanie, who's a life coach, And then right after her is Dr. Chanel Wilson, who is an employed urologist, but runs a nonprofit called Urology Unbound, where she's tackling the problem of the lack of diversity in the field of urology. So she's transforming a whole specialty by what she does. Next to her is Dr. Karen Kaufman, who's an allergist immunologist, amazing physician. You would have heard her story at EntreMD Live. And then she started private practice in January of 2021, which is like right smack in the middle of a pandemic, and she's rocking it. And then next to her is Dr. Yinka Skin, who is she's a family medicine doctor in Canada. And she has always had a passion for, skincare for women of color. And she developed a skincare line, and that's her business. So I just show that to show it can be anything, like really. And you would have heard some of their stories yesterday, and you can be next. A lot of the people you heard yesterday were at EntreMD Live the year before, and they were just watching. And yesterday they got to be on stage to share their story. Just goes to show you the difference a year can make, right? So you can be next, and I would love to help. So these are the things that make some of the things that make the business school unique. There is curriculum, but it's minimal curriculum, right? So you're not needing to read textbooks and stuff like that, because the focus is on action and momentum. A lot of times we do know what to do, kind of, sorta. Is the motivation? It's this, like break all the information down to action steps so we can just stay in momentum. That's kind of missing. So the focus, a lot of action, a lot of momentum. And it's the community itself is so inspiring, is so supportive. Yesterday, you got to meet, if you're at EntreMD Live, you got to meet 7 of the physicians. There's 70 of them. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an inspiring community. Just listening to their stories, I was inspired, right? And that becomes the place where you live. Like, you get to be with all these people. um, we have exceptional guests who come, who are successful entrepreneurs and who are experts. They're experts in certain fields. We have had people come in from, to teach how to do online courses. Like, how do I hire a team? Like, I don't hire a team. I just started my business. I'm not making too much money. I can't pay a whole team. And she came and taught us how to build a team with little or no money down, which was phenomenal. So we have many people who are just starting off in businesses who have teams that they're working with. So a lot of exceptional guests. And the primary goal, my goal with the business school, is your results. That is my goal. That is my number one, number two, number three goal. So it's not just about teaching you concepts, it's about helping you win. Okay, so that's really what it's about. So we have a success path, if you will, and it's 4 stages. But at the end of the day, what it does is this: the first thing is it helps you effectively articulate what you do so your ideal client says yes, right? And that involves a lot of things, like, who is my ideal client? What are their problems? What are the solutions I can offer them? What is my I help statement, right? All of those things, which this is the foundation for all of your marketing. Like, if this is off, everything is off. This is the right reason why people show up a lot on social media, and it doesn't matter for their businesses at all because this part is missed. This is why you may do a talk and it doesn't matter. You may talk to many places, doesn't matter. It's not making any impact on your business, is because this piece is missing. So that's the foundation that we lay. And then helping you build an audience of raving fans who will turn into paying clients or turn into patients in your practice, whichever it is. But your people are out there. How do you find them? How do you create a system where you find them? um, Help you create consistent revenue so that you can have financial freedom. You'd have heard Dr. Toomer talk about that, where COVID hit and she had all these other crises, and you know financial freedom is there, so she was in control, so she can figure it out. And then the fourth thing is, which is one of my favorite, is help you build automation and teams so you can buy your time back, right? We don't want to go from 70 hour work weeks to 80-hour work weeks as entrepreneurs. So there are ways. And I have a lot of tricks and hacks and all of those things because people are like, you seem to be everywhere all the time. And I'm like, it looks that way. I'm not. But how do I build in automations? How do I build in teams so I can have time, right? Which is what we want. Yes, we want to have financial freedom, but we also want to have time freedom. So what does it look like being in the school, like month to month, week to week? This is what it looks like. So there are weekly live sessions, and that is every week ever since the school started. And they would take different shapes. So there's nothing boring about it because some of them will be laser coaching, some of them you would have a guest, some of them will be teaching a strategy. Um, you know, so whatever we need to do, but they're weekly sessions, and there are monthly challenges, which is huge because that's the way we stay in momentum. If you're here and you're an entrepreneur and you're not in a community, what you would have noticed is you have sometimes where you're on fire, you have sometimes where you're MIA. With the monthly challenges, you're on point. In the month of May, the monthly challenge we did was the Quantum Leap Challenge. And every day we had things, 4 different things that we had to do that include, mindset work, actions we needed to take, and all of that stuff. And the level of transformation that happened was unbelievable. And this is what we do every month. And then we have monthly guest experts. We've had a ton of them. And we have that private Facebook group there. I'm not part of any group that's like that group. It is the most positive place, and not in a fake, inauthentic way, but it's like that is where you go when you go out in the business world and you have to face disappointments, because you will have to face that, right? But these are the people that will help you stand. They're the people that help you going. You will see your classmates doing stuff and you're like, wait a minute, if they can do that, well, what can I do? And you get to be inspired by the growth of your own classmates. Like all the people in the EntreMD Business School, when they heard Dr. Violina Bhattacharya yesterday, they were like, oh my goodness, why? We all started together. We remember, right? So, but it's an amazing place. And in the beginning, people are like, oh, I really like the business school. I like what Dr. Una does. But if you listen now, all you hear is Dr. Una and my classmates, Dr. Una and my classmates, because it's the community, right? We also do, we call them EBS masterminds. We're small groups, 5 to 7 doctors who come in, to share what their wins are, what their challenges are, get some, feedback and stuff from their peers, which has been a hit. And a lot of collaboration, a lot, because now you have access to doctors in the doctor world. So we have access to all kinds of resources because we're all in one community. Okay, so whether that's to be on a podcast, to be on a YouTube channel, to get a speaking opportunity, whether it's for know-how, you would have heard Dr. Dada talk about another doctor who gave her information which helped her reduce her overhead in a specific part of her business by 70%. 70. That's a lot of, you know. And then we have the annual vision retreat, which is a bonus for the business school. So it's a retreat we're going to have in person, Hilton Head Island, October 15th and 16th of this year. And, the business school is complete in itself, but this is me coming to spend 2 days with my people. And if you're on TrainMD Live yesterday, it was virtual and it was 6 hours. So imagine what happens in 2 days. And that's where, I set my goals in October. And then so that way I have a head start in the year. And so in this retreat, we're going to have we're going to have specialty sessions. We're going to have setting your business goals, setting your life goals, the whole 9 yards. Like unbelievable. This right here, when I asked, we did this last year as a Zoom meeting. It was 3 hours for the business school, and I had everyone give me back a glowing 5-star review and talk about how it totally changed their lives, and talked about how now in 2021 they're living in their goals. It's fascinating. So this will be the first time we do it in person. Of course, it'll be by the beach because I like the water. But so, and then for the new cohort, And for those of you who are in the business school, you will get access to the replays, okay? Because they're like, wait, Dr. Una, what is that? For the new cohort, you are going to be with me for the first 3 weeks. So you won't be in the main group, right? So you can get an accelerated onboarding, if I can call it that. But you're going to get 3 master classes. So the successful CEO, and that's what are the habits that I need? What is the mindset that I need to thrive as an entrepreneur, right? So you're going to get the successful CEO masterclass. You're going to get the profitable business masterclass, which means this is my business idea. What is the path to monetizing it? Right. So we're not climbing up a tree. And then when we get to the top, we're like, wait a minute, I don't know how you're going to make money from that. Right. So you have this laid out, you have a roadmap. And then the third thing is a client attraction system, right? What is that going to look like? So these are 3 master classes that will really fast track your journey. And then when you show up in the main group, there'll be no newbies because you've been, you got your fast track and you're on point, you're good to go. So those are 3 master classes that you will be doing in the month of June, starting from Tuesday. Okay. Now, if you are here and you're like, I want to work this business thing, I've dabbled in it a little bit, but I really want to do it like I mean it now. If that is you, then my recommendation is you don't wait. You just join the business school. Okay. It's perfect for you. If you are someone who would whine, complain, blame others, then this is not the school for you because there will be coaching, there will be accountability, and people around you are going to be moving. Okay. But if you're like, I need to figure this out, then this is what you've been looking for. Okay. Now, I was funny yesterday. So I said that the investment for the business school is 43,000 for 10 months. Okay. And that's what I paid for my first program. It's not 43,000 for 10 months. Um, okay. So your investment is 12 monthly payments of 997. It's a year-long program. Best year you'll spend. So 12 monthly payments of 997. The more popular option is a one-time payment of 10,000 because it's a $2,000 savings. So those are the two options. Either is fine. Okay. Um, Now, there are some things because I remember when I had the opportunity to invest in myself. I still remember that. I still remember the like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this, right? So I had questions like, is this the right time to do this? And the answer to that question is yes. Right? It's like having babies. It's like getting to medical school. There's no such thing as a right time. The time is the time. Right? So when is the right time? When I started my practice 11 years ago, I had a 4-month-old. Right? Is that the right time to start a practice? Well, it was the time. So it's the time. Okay. So if you're thinking, is this the right time? It's the right time. If you're thinking, will I have the time? The answer is twofold. One is that, yes, the school is structured in such a way that if you're a busy physician, you can still work through it. And then on the other hand, I believe that you're at that point where you're like, I want to be in the driver's seat. I want to do this like I mean it. I want to finally get this off the ground. So you will make the time. Okay. So it's structured in such a way that you will be okay, even though you're a busy physician. But on the other hand, you will make the time. Okay. Now, you might say, well, if I don't know if I can afford this. This is expensive. Okay. And I will tell you what Dr. Violina said. I think she was the one. She made a comment, and she was one of the speakers yesterday at EntreMD Live. And she's like, you cannot put a price on the transformation you experience. And I don't think there's any other way. So you saw me put there that it was 43,000 for 10 months. That's what I paid. My husband still talks about it till today. He's like, that is the best $43,000 I have ever spent. Okay. So the return on investment is so dramatic and so huge that, yes, it's totally worth it. Okay. You might be saying, well, I've done something like this before and it didn't quite work the way I thought it would. And to that, I will say, just put that in the books and leave it alone. right? We're going to move forward. Leave it alone. If you feel like, oh, I didn't show up the way I was supposed to show up, so I didn't get what I was supposed to get out of it, then I'm going to ask you to give yourself grace and say yes to what you need to say yes to. Okay. All right. So you have three options, right? You can decide, well, that's interesting. I'm not going to do anything about it. To which I'll say, please don't do that. Your second option would be, well, I'll figure this out on my own. And you can probably eventually. But if you are like, well, I'm I'm going to invest in myself so I can get there quicker. So if I can get there faster, I can get there with less amount of pain. Then your option is the business school. Okay. Now, so this is a quote that my mentor used to say, and I live by it. And she says, make the decision, then make it right. Right. So I don't really know, make the decision and then make it right. So this is where you go on entremd.com/business to sign up for it. And I'm just gonna, this is the date for the very first class, the successful CEO. And if you're like, oh, I already have something I'm doing on that day, we do have, you have a portal, and so you have all your replays there, and you have a private podcast. So if you're more like, I spend my time outside running and all that stuff, then you can get all of your all of your replays there, so you don't even have to look at a video. Okay. I'm going to take care of these common questions, and then I'm going to come out and answer your questions. So, how long will you be in the EntreMD Business School? It's a year, and then you can always do year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, whatever you want to do, but for a year. And then the time commitment would be 60 to 90 minutes for your live sessions, and then 2 to 3 hours a week for implementation. Now, some weeks is structured in such a way that if some weeks you have more time than less weeks, you don't have to do exactly 2 hours every week. You can always alternate that. But that's what it will look like. And if you're in business full time, then of course you have more time, right? Is there any one-to-one coaching? There is no one-to-one coaching. It's all group. But the thing about group coaching is that a lot of times you don't even you hear questions that you didn't even know you had, right? And then you see people getting coached, and you get a lot out of watching other people getting coached. So the group is really powerful. Okay. Does it help people with my kind of business? And for the most part, except you are primarily like a passive investor or something like that, it does, because there's such a heavy focus on defining what the business is. How do I market it? How do I build systems? So these are things that you need irrespective of your business type. And can I try it for a few months? And the answer to that is no, because the community that has been curated is so powerful that it's my responsibility to protect the group. So we, for the most part, are looking for people who are committed to their results, committed to their businesses, so we don't do any trials. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to put this up. Makita, I think you're here, so you can put the number in the chat, just so people have it. But I am going to stop the screen share, and I am going to answer questions. Yay. Okay, so let me answer. I'm going to answer these questions that are here first. And then if anybody needs to, if you have a question you want to ask, you can raise your hand on the Zoom thing, and I'll get to it. Okay. Um, what day and time are the weekly sessions? Perfect. Okay. So the weekly sessions, you're going to have two, right? Because there's the accelerated onboarding, right, with me. So for the month of June, it will be on Tuesdays, right? And that's just with the new cohort. So that's just me, you guys. And when you move over, your welcome party into the main group is July 7th. And then from there, it will be Wednesdays. So from then on, it's Wednesdays. So it's only Tuesdays for June. After that, it's Wednesdays. And that kind of stays the same. Um, Dr. Jessica, well, she says, will the bank allow a $10,000 payment? A lot of people have done that. So just and I've done that for a number of things. So just check with your bank. If you have any problems with that, just email. Just email. Okay, so someone said I called my bank to allow the payment. That's what I've had to do with things I had to do. Um, Annabelle says, did you also do coaching originally? Do you mean one-on-one coaching? If that's what you mean, yes, I did a lot of that first, and then I developed the group. Um, how does the mastermind group work? Okay, so for the EBS mastermind, we do that once for a year or two. We're doing that once a quarter. And really what that is smaller groups for accountability, sharing resources, troubleshooting and stuff like that. So they usually would have groups of 5 to 7 people with one person as the not the leader but kind of the facilitator, if you will. And then we have a framework, like these are the things that you go through. I've also done it in a networking way where everybody comes on a Wednesday, and we're split into groups. And I kid you not, the first time I did it, I was like, oh, I'm never stopping this. The first day I did it, when I brought everybody back into the main group, it was all smiles and all that. They're like, Dr. Una, can we stay a little longer? Like it was such a powerful thing, you know. Yeah, so we've done it separately. We've done it on Wednesdays, but it typically lasts for the 60 to 90 minutes, not longer. So they're not weekly. We don't do them weekly because the idea is not to overload, right? So I put enough in front of you where you feel stretched, but not to where you're like, I'm burned out from my business, I'm burned out from my job, and I'm burned out from the business school. So that's the way we set it up. um if you want to stay after another year, is it another 10,000? Yeah. Okay. So yes. But the thing is this, you do grandfather in at whatever. So let's say if next year, things happen and we're like, okay, this is the new price for the school. No matter what that price is, you can stay in at whatever price you came at, right? So if next year, say it's $20,000 for the school, you can still do 10. So you'll be getting a huge discount. Um, Let me see. What if you are employed? Will this 12-month program be applicable? Um, yeah. So this is the EntreMD concept. The EntreMD concept is, even if you're employed, we have many employed physicians in the group. So if you are employed, your physician brand is your business. That's your business. So you would still build it. And with the accelerated onboarding, this is why this is important, because at the end of it, everybody will be clear on what their business is, right? And um, how you're ultimately gonna monetize it. And then if you are strictly going to be an entrepreneur, so means, I love my job, I don't really want to do much else, then we'll just show you how to build out your personal brand, right? So that if you wanted to do something later, you have everything in place. And plus, where you work, you become more of an asset because you directly affect their bottom line. So there are ways around that. So the answer is yes. We have many who are employed. Um, so if you can make Wednesdays at 7 p.m., will it still be helpful replaying? Yeah, there are many doctors who do that, because it's not just the live session. So the live sessions are powerful. What happens in the group is powerful. The monthly challenges are really powerful, right? And it really helps that the replays, you can access them as a podcast. So literally, for some people, you just set, if for instance, like 7 p.m., you're not there, you just schedule whenever your replay time is, and then you catch up. And of course, if there are any questions, I'm in the group every day. The group members are in the group every day, so we're able to take care of that. Um, how often does the cohort run? So we last year, because of COVID, I did the mostest. I really felt like it was my responsibility to help and support doctors. It was just an interesting year. So we opened a number of times, but after this cohort, your cohort, the next time we'll open the school will be next year. because what I'm going to be doing is then my focus is on the business school, serving, helping them hit milestones and stuff like that. Um, let's see. I have a, where's that question? Um, do you provide a detailed roadmap on logistics of starting businesses, like finding business insurance, type of business structure, staffing, etc.? So we provide that. It's not the primary focus of the business school, but we do have a startup kit that talks about, legal structures, finding um, business insurance. I believe is their business. I'm not sure about the business structure. I think registering your business and all of that. But the thing is this is where the guest experts come in, right? So if there's something I noticed that, oh, a number of people want to know about XYZ, if it's something that is my zone of genius, I take care of it. If it's not, then I bring a guest expert. So that's why we have them. So it's not necessarily, for most of them, it's not just for inspiration, is that there's something I need them to take care of that is not my zone of genius. That's kind of the way that works. Um, will there be a replay for the Tuesday sessions? Yes. Everything is recorded. Everything is recorded. Everything. Um, let's see. Okay. I have one. Um, let me do this before I come back to the rest of the questions. Um, Dr. Polak, I know you need to leave your post call. Let me see if she's still here.
I'm here.
Hi. Okay. So I
Hello.
I'm happy I have you here. I know you hear a lot of the questions and stuff. So I wondered if you wanted to share a bit. I'll just squeeze some juice out of you before I let you go.
Okay. So, hi, everybody. I'm a pediatrician in New Jersey. I've been practicing for 25 years. And I found Dr. Una by the podcast, and Dr. Una's podcast really helped me survive the pandemic. All her ideas, I implemented every single one from her podcasts. And I decided to join the business school because even though I already have a private practice, I could definitely improve. So many things have improved since I started the business school. And most importantly is my mindset about asking. So I'm super comfortable asking now. I ask for Google reviews all the time. I ask for people to subscribe to my YouTube channel all the time. So it's all about my mindset. So once I changed that mindset of don't be shy, just ask, things are really turning around and changing. I'm opening a wellness center, and the whole group is helping me with that. So many of us have the similar mindset of wellness. So that's what we're doing. We're helping each other. So I did collaboration videos with my classmates. I found a great resource where we can all kind of thrive and write articles and be in the news. And I shared it, and everybody's using it. And that's how I'm using the business school, even though I'm not a new practitioner.
Excellent. That's true. You shared the Harold thing, right? Was that you?
That was
That
me.
was
I
you. Oh,
like writing those articles and having my name in print.
I love it. So tell me, how do you manage with the time?
Oh, well, yeah, it's not easy, but it's doable because I don't always join on Wednesday nights. I try, but I would say 2 out of 4 times I do listen to the replay, to be honest. And you taught me to just batch, so I batch everything now.
That's
I even
amazing.
batch the replays.
She's like, I'm so efficient. I batch the replays.
Yeah.
Okay. So where do you listen to the replay on the, are you watching the videos or are you listening to the podcast, the private podcast?
I prefer to watch the videos, but that's my thing because I like to see.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So let me see. Let me make sure they're not questions you need to answer before you go. Okay. Well, before I let you go, so what will you say you know now, right? So before you joined the business school, what were your doubts about it? And what did you find out after that?
I always thought to myself, nah, you can do this on your own. You've done it so far on your own. But the truth of the matter is, it's just much harder to do it on your own. Like, this is so easy. You go and you just post something in a group and you get 20 answers to your question, and you've got your answer. And then I love your coaching sessions, and I raise my hands all the time, you know that, and I ask, and you kind of help to reset my mind. You're like, no, do it like this. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So I guess my biggest doubt is I thought I could do it on my own. And I realized that I can do it on my own. It's just going to take a lot longer and a lot more time.
Okay, excellent. Let's see, guys, I had no idea what she was going to say. Okay, so awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you for coming on. I know you're on call or post call, and
All of the
yeah,
above.
all of the above. Okay,
All
excellent.
right.
All right,
Thank you. Have a great
you guys
evening, everybody.
put your hands together for the amazing Dr. Polak.
Thank you. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you, Doc.
Thanks.
All right, let me see. Okay, so I have, are there resources to help us avoid legal pitfalls in developing our own practices? My greatest fear is unknowingly doing something wrong. I don't plan on taking insurance. I'm a hospitalist and have always been just paid by the hour employee. Okay, so there will be conversation about that. There are a lot of private practice owners in the group. I want to say maybe 40%. And in the retreat, we're going to have specialty sessions, which means sessions specifically for coaches, sessions specifically for private practice owners, and then sessions specifically for those who have what would consider online businesses. And so you get a ton of questions answered, and there's the resources in the group are just unbelievable, unbelievable. The answer is yes. Okay. All right, Dr. Christina, I have a lot of ideas and I'm currently dabbling in lots of different things. I want to solidify ideas and actually monetize what I'm doing, and I'm undecided what exactly I want to do. So this is the thing. This is one of my things. This is one of the things that will happen in the business school. You will be held accountable to one business idea, and we will work together to pick what that will be, because the concept is focus will really put you in a position where you start growing much faster, you start monetizing, you start building stuff bigger. If you're building three things, many things at the same time, it's just hard to get traction. It's so hard. So there are many people who will come in with 5 ideas, and we're like, yeah, journal the rest and we're going to focus on this one. Okay, so that's actually good for the school, because when we do the profitable business masterclass, part of it will be focus. Okay, and if you think about it, when you're starting to build something, you have to break out of obscurity with one thing, and then after that you can do whatever you want. So think about Beyonce, for instance, right? Beyonce had to build her credibility with what she does as a singer, dancer, right? And after that, she could have 1 million skincare lines. She can do whatever she wants, but you can't do that before you break out of obscurity, right? So that's the idea, is let's take one thing, use it to build your name, build your brand, build all of that. And then after that, you can diversify. So that's that piece. Um, when does it start this year? So it starts June the 15th. It's already here on Tuesday. It starts on Tuesday. And then we're opening it up just this one time this year. Yeah, and Makita was saying you get access to the recordings before you start the school. So we have a vault, so you have access to all the things. Now you will not get access to after June because I don't want you overwhelmed. I don't want you going like, oh my goodness. So we're gonna spend the first 3 weeks working on your accelerated onboarding, get everything, put everything in boxes, make it nice and pretty, and then you'll get access to all of that. Let's see. If I miss most of the small groups, since they are not recorded, and do everything else using replays, will it be sufficient? Or small group sessions are super important and no point to do without them? No, the small group sessions are once a quarter. That's how we do that. So you would be fine. And we've done them two ways. So one is where it's the same time, it's on Wednesday, and the same time block. And we've done it where we would have, 3 or 4 different days with 3 or 4 different times. So you will most likely find a time for yourself. So no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Um, I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone higher up. Jessica, you sent me that question. The answer is yes. You're good. Um, okay. So can I join in the middle of the way and not start right away? Can you tell me what you mean? I'm not sure I understand the question. And you can, if you want to unmute yourself, you can actually. Okay. If you're trying to figure out what exactly you want to do, is this a good fit for you? If you're trying to figure out what to do, this is the school for you. Okay. And I'm not saying that, like I'm saying that because, oh, I must have you in the school. I mean, I want to have you in the school. Don't get me wrong. But this is why I say that. So we have in the success path, we have 4 stages, but we also have stage 0, which is finding my profitable business idea. So if you don't know what to do, we have a whole section that's just for you. Like we can figure this out. These are, what are your passions? What are the things you're dabbling in or the things you're thinking about? And then we can play it out and you choose one. And that's part of the reason why I don't throw you into the main group. That's the reason why I do the accelerated onboarding, so we can figure out what are you going to work on, right? That's where we start from. So when we do the profitable business masterclass, we will be working through that as well. So if you don't know, we take that into consideration. It's part of the business school. So it's not even as though we're adding something separate for you. Like it's part of the business school. Um, let me see. All right, Dr. Carolyn, where are you? I see your hand raised.
Hey, I just wanted to come on and share with everybody just kind of my journey, because I feel like I'm a big advocate for Dr. Una and for the EntreMD Business School and her podcast, etc. I've been listening to this energetic woman for a long time and was like, oh my gosh, she believes I can do it. Like, why don't I believe I can do it? Right. So I decided in the middle of a pandemic to open my own direct care practice. I'm an OB-GYN and I am doing kind of a niche practice. And so I got on the phone with Dr. Una and I was like, should I join the business school? And of course, I already knew I wanted to, because why else am I calling her? I've been listening to her and I hear all of her tools and her tricks and just her belief in me. I said, well, this is where I need to be if I'm going to start my business. So I opened the doors and signed up for the business school the same day. And friends, I'm just here to tell you that there has been such quantum leaps in my own personal growth and my own belief of myself and being able to build a business. And once you see that you are capable of doing it, you start having this list of ideas of all the other things that you can do. But Dr. Una is absolutely right that you start with one, you pick one and you go for it and you build it out. And then it's your building block for the next thing that you want to do. And, I was really busy yesterday and I thought, and my kids were leaving town today. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to attend the conference yesterday morning, but I thought, whatever, I'm going to put an earbud in and I'm going to listen. And even still, friends, I was taking notes. I've been in the business school since September, and I was taking notes going, oh yeah, I need to implement that. I need to implement that. I mean, the quantum leap that you will take and the just the group support that you have. So you have a bad day or you're facing a challenge or you're up against a wall and you can't figure out what to do. You just go into the Facebook group and the collaboration and the support is just simply amazing. You will not regret joining.
Oh, thank you for saying that, Dr. Carolyn. And I'm so happy. So tell me, remind me. So you 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 started your practice in September, same day you joined the business school.
Mhm.
And then you built it to where it was paying for itself by the 6th month. And you were working what, 2.5 days a week? Was that what it was?
2 days a week, right? And we did had our Quantum Leap Challenge last month, and I didn't reach the financial goal that I wanted to reach. But what happened was that I had an enormous just mindset shift where I completely saw it, believed it, knew it was possible, and went ahead and gave notice at my hospitalist job because it's holding me back from having the energy and the focus to build my business. I know that the market's there. I know that I'm serving patients. I know that when I'm doing it, it feels like magic. It feels good. And I want to go with the good. I'm tired of being beat down and run down in medicine in the system and being asked to take a pay cut and see more patients. And it's just exhausting. And I know many of us feel it. And I'm just here to say that you can serve and earn on your own terms. It's totally possible. And I am down to, I'm not taking insurance. So that's also possible. I am building, you are the secret sauce. You showing up as you is the secret sauce. And so I didn't want to fuss with taking insurance, and so I chose not to. And I'm collaborating and I'm reaching out and I'm living in the zip code of discomfort.
I'm living in the zip code. Oh my goodness. So I used to say my permanent address is P.O. Box outside my comfort zone. You're like, I'm living in the zip code of discomfort. I love
We
it.
are neighbors. We are neighbors.
We are
Is
neighbors.
where I am all the time. But it's so worth it. And I told Dr. Una this recently that I actually enjoy it now because the no's are as powerful as the yeses. And the growth that you will have is incredible. And the support that you have within the group is phenomenal. I mean, it just can't be beat.
I love it. So she says, I'll serve and earn on my own terms. I live in the zip code of discomfort. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. That is so powerful. And of course, as always, I'm super happy for you. So happy. That is so
Thank you for
good.
always
That's
your support.
that's
Mhm.
liquid gold right there. You're dropping all the things. Okay, let's see if I have questions. All right, Dr. Caroline, I hope you saw the comments. Everybody's shouting you out. That is so good. Okay, so let me see. I have Dr. Judith. Do you want to come on? I may be putting you on the spot. So Dr. Judith is an
Yes.
employed physician. So
Yes.
maybe you want to hear from her.
Yes. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I go by Andrea. Middle name is easier. I'm definitely piggybacking on Dr. Caroline. It's amazing the mindset change. I'm an employed physician. I was in a rough spot last year. I was one of those physicians who got full load from my job. So when I attended EntreMD Live, as you said, I was more like a listening in and just taking it all in. I joined the school. It helped me tremendously. Thankfully, I secured another job, and just now at the 1 year mark, I'm celebrating. Lots of gains. I learned, first of all, I'm an introvert of introverts. And I was like, "What, Dr. Una, you want me to talk to people like my voice and my accent and all that stuff?" But it helped me tremendously to live outside of my comfort zone. And one greatest thing I borrowed from Dr. Una, just do it, Nike style, even fearfully and not trusting myself. I still did it. My credibility and my personal brand definitely has paid back, because in March, starting March, so after how many months? 6-7 months being in a new position, they offered me to get a scribe because they wanted me to see more patients. They saw that I'm bringing revenue, and they're like, "How can I help you? How can we help you to thrive, to do better?" It is a private practice, but I'm an employed position, and that changed my life definitely, because it's great help. I'm not as tired, not as burned out, and I can actually do other things, which again, getting the all the mindset change and everything I learned in the group and from Dr. Una, I jumped into a project, as you announced at the beginning, and now I'm a co-author of a best-selling book. So I'm out there, the introverted introverts. I'm out there. The book is out. It has launched, and it's just an amazing journey. And I'm just looking forward for next year. So this morning, when I was reflecting and thinking about this past 6 months and all the possibilities, and thinking about yesterday, the amazing EntreMD Live, being there a second year in a row. My goal is, one of them is that I'm going to be speaking next year. So I don't know how and what and when, but I will. So that's something. I'm sorry, I'm outside. One of my neighbors is making a noise. However, so yes, I definitely recommend it for employed physician because it helps us improve our mindset and our credibility at work when we show up as our confidence gain from it. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Thank you.
Congratulations, Doc. Okay, so, oh my goodness. All right, so Dr. Steneda she's amazing, amazing, and we met right when the pandemic was at its peak, and she started building out her brand. So think about building her brand out so much that they're like, how can we help you? We'll give you a scribe. What do you want? And then the confidence, and she's done videos and she's done podcast episodes. She's been on the EntreMD podcast, co-authored a book, living living the life as an employed physician. So that's what we mean when we say that you don't have to be you don't have to start a private practice. It all depends on what you want to do. You're an entrepreneur, so you do what you want to do. Okay.
Exactly.
Yay.
Exactly. Definitely. Once you start, you're not going to want to leave. So those questions, oh, can I leave if I just try it out? No, trust me, you don't want to leave. This is like that song. I can't remember. It's an older song, but anyways, once you start, you never leave.
All right. She's warning you now. She's warning you
It's
now.
true. It's true. It's all worth it. Every single cent. Trust me.
I love it. Congrats, Doc. I'm happy
Thank
for
you.
you.
Thank you.
Makes me
Thank you so much,
happy.
Dr. Una. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Love it. All right. So let me see if we had any more questions. So listen to what she said, okay? If you're thinking about it, do it. And truthfully, I mean, you guys are doctors, you guys are my people, right? 1 year is gonna come and go. That's the thing. That's the thing. We're gonna be at June 14th, 2022. The question is, what version of you shows up, right? So sometimes people are like, well, if I invest the time, if I invest the money and all that, and it doesn't work, what happens? But the more scary question is, if I don't invest the time and I don't invest the money and I stay the same, then what happens? Right? That's more of the thing. So my challenge would be to you would be, dare whatever doubts and fears you have and do it. I did it 4 years ago, and I'm happy I did. Let me see. I have Dr. Latoya. Let me find you. Okay, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, great. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I know you answered this previously, but it's really what's holding me back.
Okay.
So I just would like to see if you can talk a little bit more about because I'm in the West Coast.
Okay.
I'm an OB, and I looked at my schedule up until it's out, which is up until September. I would
Okay.
miss 100% of the calls, right? So I know there are replays, but I agree with you. I see the value in the laser coaching and being on the call. So, is it really doable if I miss every single one of those live calls? That's really just my biggest concern.
Okay. So let me see. I'm going to answer you, but let me see if I can. Dr. Carolyn Moyers, are you still here?
Here, I'm here.
Yeah. What do you think? She's an OB. She can't make any of the calls till September. And she's wondering if it'll still be worth it.
It's gonna be a
See, guys, I have no
Okay.
idea what she's going to say. So that's
Just
fine.
a second. That's okay. Yeah, I'll be over there. Just a second. Yes. I think that you learn a lot from others coaching. So when you listen in on the calls or the podcast after the fact, you learn a lot from listening to other people being coached. There's still a lot of value there, whether you attend or not. It's definitely more fun if you're on the call and you can pose your questions. But if you miss and you want to pose your questions in the group after the fact, Dr. Una is always on it and others are going to chime in and help out in that regard. So there's a lot of community building regardless of whether you make the calls. I think there's still value.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So Dr. Latoya, the thing is this, right? Like, especially when you're starting, if things are not ideal, they just aren't ideal. When I started my private practice, I had a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. And when I started, I didn't qualify for a lot of the loans and stuff. So I had to work at the urgent care where I was working about 20-hour weeks. And there's nothing ideal about that, right? But it was what I had to do for the season. And now I'm at a point where I'm seeing patients 1 day a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, so um, if you want to work your business, this is totally doable. Okay, it's totally doable. And there's so much outside the Wednesday calls that if you're committed to your success, it will still work. So, and that's the truth. So, am I going to say walk in the park? No, I'm not going to say that. But am I saying that sometimes in the beginning it's not ideal and we do what we need to do? Is the same like medical school, is the same like helping babies. Um, Having babies is the same thing. Okay, so you can do it. Oh, hi, Dr. Ronke. Dr. Ronke is amazing. She's a serial entrepreneur, pediatrician. I'm telling you, pediatricians rock in the EntreMD Business School. If you're not a pediatrician, it's okay. I'm just saying. She says you might miss 10% of the value, but you'll get 90%. If you don't do it, you'll lose 100%. So that's Dr. Dosuma for you. Awesome. And Dr. Judith says, I agree with Dr. Carolyn, huge value in the replays. Okay, so that means you probably just need to schedule a time that this is when I do my replays, and then you're good. Okay. Dr. Carolyn says, how is the EntreMD Business School different from the Freedom Formula Masterclass? Okay, so the Freedom Formula Masterclass I did in 2019. So yeah, the business school is the granddaddy of the Freedom Formula Masterclass. So that program doesn't exist anymore. It's all, if you remember, I think you were in that, Dr. Carolyn. That was a 12-week program that I offered. Now, if you see the overarching thought that I put there in the beginning, where I said that everything you've achieved up to now is a stepping stone for what's next, is that thought process that made me retire the Freedom Formula Masterclass, because it was a 12-week program and people got amazing results and people were excited. And it was a wonderful community. At the end of it, people are like, wait, what, so what happens to the group? What's going on? And I didn't like that, because after 12 weeks, I'm like, okay, we have all these wins, but it's the stepping stone for what comes next. So I swore never, ever to do a 12-week program for as long as I live, right? Because I'm like, we can't stop at 12 weeks. Like, there's so much more to do. So it's completely different. It's so much better. Yeah, Dr. Caroline, I didn't like that either. Just ended. I mean, like, why? Why would you do that? So I don't do that anymore. So the business school is the replacement for that. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Dr. Ronka, do I put you on the spot? I'm sure you see a lot of the questions, so maybe you can give your perspective.
Hi, hello everyone. I joined a little bit late, so
Oh, you're good. You can just talk
um
about your experience in the school, or for
okay.
someone who's thinking of joining, what would you say to them?
All right. So it's simple. Just do it. Okay. Do it. Just do it because I think a lot of times we spend too much time thinking and overthinking. I mean, I know it's a financial investment, so of course you should think about it, but the best investment you can make is in yourself. I mean, everything else that you invest in cannot give you as much value. And as the physician or the leader or the founder of your business, the value of your business is going to only increase as much as the value that you yourself have. So the best investment you're going to make is in you. For me, it's all about the community. I love the EntreMD community. That's why I'm back here again to talk to you guys. It's like, I have to join. I have to join. So honestly, it doesn't matter what part of medicine you're in. If you've ever thought about a business, if you want to grow your business, if you want people to support you, if you want expert coaching, I mean, I can't say enough good things. And I had been in business for many years before I joined, and so it wasn't like I didn't have business experience. I had a lot of business experience, but like I said, the amount of what you can achieve when you're in a community and there's what do you call it, there's like a challenge. You know, you see people doing things. It's not a competition, but you know, you're challenged to do more. So that's amazing. So I think you should definitely do it.
I love your version, Dr. Ronk. She's like, look, just do it. Okay. Let's do this Nike style. Keep it nice and sweet. Just get it done. And Dr. Ronk is a total rock star. She's a pediatrician. I want to say over 25 years, right? You've had your, is that, yeah,
Yes, about 26 years now.
yeah,
Yeah.
26 years in private practice and all
Mhm.
of that. Really inspiring. So there you go. She says, just do it. Okay. All right. So do I have any more questions? Do I have any more questions? I'm telling you, pediatricians rock. And they say, oh, I'm a pediatrician, so I can only earn XYZ. I'm like, nah, not if you're an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, you throw away the ceiling. Like, this is what you can earn. Like that's what you said, but we'll create a whole new ceiling. That's what we'll do. I love it. Okay. So let me do some coaching for you guys. Okay. How about I do that? And this is what I'm gonna leave you with. Um, don't procrastinate. If you have even thought, I would like to be there, but then go sign up. Okay. I, wow, I want to have a story like Dr. Bhattacharya or Dr. Dada or Dr. Carolyn, but I want you to get the butt out of the way and go sign up. Okay. So it's entremd.com/business. And when I get to see you in person, because you come for the retreat, you will come and hug me and you will say thank you for saying I should just go sign up. Okay. You may say there are multiple reasons. You may say I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have the this. You do, and you can make it work. And you should be in the school. Okay. It'll be easier for me to be nice and not tell you that. But the truth of the matter is, you need to. So if you've thought about it, just go do it. Okay. Just go do it. You make the decision and you make the decision right. Did I feel some kind of way when I did 43,000 for my first program? Yes. But am I glad I did it? I mean, I'm the people people will say, "You're a natural. You're great at speaking." No. That's a $43,000 investment that produced that. That there's nothing natural about it. Nothing at all. But I took a chance on myself. You're here and you've invested money to remodel your kitchen, and then you're not going to invest to remodel your life. Like, what's more valuable, your kitchen or you? Right? So I told you I took permission, right, to do some coaching here. So don't invest in all the things and not invest in yourself. The question you have to ask yourself is, where can I be June 14th, 2022? What level of confidence would I have? What would my mindset be like? Will I still be frustrated, having palpitations about what is happening in medicine? would I be in a completely different space? Would I have spread my message? Would I have impact? Would my business be changing the world? And you might say that's lofty. No, it's not. I mean, no, it's not. I have a BHAG to help 80,000 doctors build profitable businesses, and I'm actively chasing it. And the thing about the business school is everything I have access to, the business school has access to. Like, why am I doing a retreat? I don't have to. It's not part, like, it wasn't part of the deal with the business school. But I'm like, wow, if I can help them get this, everything will be better. Last Wednesday, I sat with them and I was like, let me tell you my story. Like, right from when I made the decision to start my first practice up till now, all the money numbers, all the disappointments along the way, the challenges and all of that. And everybody left so inspired, like, wait a minute, she went through all that. I can do this, right? So it's a community where I am committed 100% to help you succeed. And the students in the school are committed 100% to help you succeed. So my question to you is, are you willing to commit to your own success? And that starts with signing up for the business school. Okay. So that's what I have for you. End of coaching session. Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there because somebody helped me make that decision when it was my turn. And I want to do the same for you. Okay. Yay. All right. So questions, questions, questions. You shouldn't have questions. You should just say, I signed up. I'm done. Dr. Judith said, thank you for all you do, Dr. Judith, thank you. And I can't wait to see you in October. This is going to be so good. I get to meet you in person. So, so, so good. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, or I will let everybody go. This is good. Can we say a big thank you to Dr. Steneda and Dr. Carolyn and Dr. Noha and Dr. Ronke, who came on to share. That was powerful and they're amazing. Even for the doctors who came on yesterday during EntreMD Live, there was no communication. I was just like, go share your story. And they did so amazing. Dr. Amanda, I will see you on Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be great. So it starts Tuesday. We hit the ground running, the Successful CEO Masterclass on Tuesday. Okay. And the idea is I'm going to spend 3 weeks just with your cohort to help you thrive. Okay. It's 7 p.m. Eastern. And if for any reason you can't make it within an hour, it would be on, you'll find it. We'll give you the replays and all of that. So 7 p.m. Eastern. Our first class, 7 p.m. Eastern, is a transformation of a lifetime. Love it. Okay, so let me do this.